Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. It's been such a long time that I've sat down to film and speak to you guys. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Luinkem. I do YouTube videos based on nursing, cooking, beauty, fashion, lifestyle. Yeah, I just hope that you like what you're watching and that you decide to stick around and join the family. If you're not, welcome back. I've got very interesting news. It's not really news per se, it's just it's not really news per se. It's an information that I've known for a while, but I was just trying to gather or pieces things together before I could film this video. To be honest, I really haven't had time. I know people you know that thing where when someone moves abroad and then they tell you that they're busy, but you don't believe that they're busy until you're in the same situation. It's been ridiculously busy for me, and I am struggling. I'm grasping at straws here to find time to film this video, find the motivation. Half of the time I'm tired. I'm currently back on night shift, so it's been disaster. But enough of my rambling, let's get into the video. So today's video is about letting you know or telling you how you can move to England and work as a nurse. Not completely as a nurse, but there's another pathway for you to move here and work here that doesn't necessarily mean to come as a nurse, a medical doctor, or as a healthcare assistant. Now, this video is particularly targeted to people who have the opportunity or want to move to England and work as a healthcare associate. As a healthcare assistant. The pathway is called nursing associate. I've got my laptop here with me because I put all the information on there, and I am going to read out all the information that I have and just take you guys along as I go. Sometimes I would have to pause to move to the next page, so just bear with me, but we are going to get into the video. Okay, so first of all, what is a nursing associate? They're basically people or nurse associates that they bridge the gap between healthcare assistants and nurses. So they're higher than healthcare assistants or clinical support workers, like we call in my trust, CSW. Most people call it healthcare assistant. They're basically the same role, but just different terminologies. Okay, so they bridge the gap between nurses and healthcare assistants. They're higher than healthcare assistants, but they are lower than nurses. This is a role that I think they introduced it a year or 2 years ago, something like that. It's not quite popular out there, but a lot of people follow this this route and this badge. I remember because when I moved here last year, I have someone who works in my ward that is a nurse associate but just joined the trust the year before. They're like the first batch, the new people that just started, so it's not as popular as the rest of nurses or healthcare associates or doctors, but it is still a pathway to help you move and work here if you're looking for that option. Okay, so the application process is hopefully very straightforward. I'm going to leave all the information that I think you would need in the comment section, and all the emails that I think that's going to be necessary for you to find out the information that you need for this thing. So first of all, the application process, you need to confirm that you're eligible. You need to ensure that you meet our health and character requirements to make sure you're capable and safe and effective practice. You're capable of safe and effective practice. The next one is to ensure that you have necessary knowledge of English to practice safely and effectively. Something is wrong with this one. I'm kind of butchering English, but that's okay. It's not my first language. So you also need to successfully complete both parts of test of competence. So there is definitely going to be test of competence for this role. Confirm that you have an appropriate indemnity arrangement in place. That's basically a union that protects you when you start working. It's not something that you should worry about. It is something that you get to join after you've joined the registrar and you're already working. there's something I forgot to mention is that for nurse associates, they get to be on the NMC registrar, which is Nursing and Midwifery Council registrar. So they have their own registrar. It's being regulated. So it's basically like assistant nurse, if you ask me. Okay, so first things first, you would need to go to the nmc.org.uk/registration/join the registrar. I'll put the description link. I'll put the link in the description box, but also like on the screen, so you can see what I'm talking about. So you go on there and you go to registration and you go to joining the registrar. So you see the option of, you know, joining as a nurse or midwife or as a nurse associate. So you click on the nurse associate and then you follow the prompts on from there. So starting your application, you need to provide identity evidence. So basically like a passport, like a form of identification to show that you are who you say you are, you know, in order to join the registrar. So once you've created your account, you would need to provide passport details and a scanned copy of your passport so we can confirm your identity. It's purely for you to confirm identity. And next thing is qualification check, to check if you're eligible to apply. Okay, so under the qualification check, because this is the very important part of this, you don't one second. So you don't necessarily have to have a background in nursing for you to apply for this role. You need to, however, you need to have a foundation level degree in England or goes beyond secondary school or high school. So which means you have to have a degree of some sort. I would recommend this role for people who studied in anatomy, in health related courses, to be very honest. I feel like this role will, you know, help, it will better suit them if you're already like in something in the medical field. Okay, you need to provide a couple of information to the NMC while you're applying for this position. Excuse me. So you need to put in details of your training, including title of qualification and date it was awarded. So if you have any certificate, degree or diploma, something, you should be able to have copies of your certificate, and you can email or scan it on the website to, you know, be on your profile. So a scanned copy of your qualification certificate, name, address, contact email of your education institution, so your university, you need their contact detail, details of your previous name if your application was awarded under a different name. So if you're like married and you've changed your name, so you have to bring proof of identity change or name change. You have to be able to scan that on as well. And details of professional registration if your qualification allowed you to register in the country you completed your training in. So for example, if you're in the medical field, or you know the way we have nursing in Nigeria and you have to join the nursing registrar in Nigeria, if you're a nurse that is applying for this particular position, you need to be able to upload your license onto the website. But it's not a must. If your qualification doesn't require you to join their registrar, you don't need to necessarily upload professional registration. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So there's also an evaluation fee that you have to pay, which is £140 evaluation fee, and this fee is non-refundable. Okay, once you pay it, that's it. Poof, money is gone. So you need to be sure that this is what you want to do before you start the process. So once you've uploaded all this information, what they're going to do is that they are going to contact your university and ask to verify or ask questions about you to make sure that the person who's registering is the same person that he or she is claiming to be, and that your qualifications are, you know, authentic. So basically they're contacting your school for authenticity of your certificate and every information that you've given them, and after that they will get back to you, usually like in maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but after that you're expected to complete like a test of competence. So you'll be expected to complete a test of competence for nursing associates. They've launched this test. They launched it, I think, 31st of January 2022. And basically, if you go on the NMC website, it gives you all the information that you need to be able to get through this test of competence. There are two parts of the test of competence, which is like the same thing that you get for nurses. You've got the CBT, which is the computer-based test. Basically, you stay on the system and write your test and submit it. For nurses, the result for that comes out like almost immediately. Like in 30 minutes, the result is out. I talked about it in my last video on how to relocate to the UK as a nurse. I would imagine that it's also the same thing for this one. And the next one is a practical test known as the OSCE, which is again the same thing that the nurses do. So you write the CBT and then you write the OSCE. So when you're eligible to take the CBT and the OSCE, you will be notified. It's not something that you just go ahead and take. You are going to be notified to be able to take this one. And again, the CBT is also provided by the Pearson VUE, which is the same body that also provides the CBT for nurses. So there are different places where you can get where you can take this test. It depends on what part of the country you are, but I know that there are a lot of places. All you need to do is Google Pearson VUE centers, or even on the website, just put in your address or the state where you are in. It gives you like a list of places where you can write the test. So on the NMC website, you have all the information that you need to prepare for your CBT or your OSCE exam. So when you get to the website, you will find where you can get the information for your test of competence nursing associate blueprint, and you also have test of competence CBT candidate information booklet for nursing associates, Pearson VUE CBT materials, University of Northampton OSCE materials. The OSCE for nursing associate is currently being done at University of Northampton. Hey, Chineke. University of Northampton. I don't think there's any other place where they can do these tests at the moment, but this is the only place that they provided that you can do this test. Okay, so another thing that I failed to mention is that after you've provided your information, you've done your test of competence, they'll ask you to submit your full registration application. Okay, so during this stage they will check that you meet their registration requirements. You need to provide evidence that demonstrates that you're capable of safe and effective practice in England. This is usually standard for even for nurses, for NMC in particular. Okay, so they need health and character. It's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a health and character certificate. So you need to prove to them that you're of good health, you don't have any, I don't know, health limitations, and secondly, you have good character, and that you're per se somebody that is trustworthy, or you guys get what I mean. You guys get what I mean. Stop making me work for it. So as part of your application, you need to make a self-declaration as well. To support your declaration, you need to provide a police clearance certificate, which is standard. Is for a country where you've lived for the past 12 months. So any country that you've lived in the past 12 months, or in the last 12 years before your application, while you're 18 and above, is acceptable. So just go to, if you're in Nigeria, just go to state CID of your wherever state you're in and request for police clearance. They'll give it to you. And you should be able to upload that certificate on the NMC website as well. Another thing you need to do is nominate a referee to verify your declaration. So this can come as someone in maybe your regulatory body, or a lecturer from your school, someone on NMC registrar that has been there for at least a year, or any other healthcare, you know, maybe in the UK, they said another UK regulated healthcare professional who has known you for at least a year and you've been in contact with them in the last 6 months before submitting your application. So if you have a friend who is a medical doctor or a nurse that's currently working in the UK that you've kept in touch with for the past 6 months and they've known you for more than a year, they can also submit a referee for your application. Okay. So if you also have history with the law, you've been convicted or cautioned or had conditional discharges, you need to also be able to tell them. So if you've gone to jail or prison or had any running with the law, you are obligated to disclose this to them. It's not like they're going to deny you the job, but I think, you know, it's good for them to know, and I don't even know why the reason they ask for it, to be honest, but you have to disclose this anyway. Now, coming to the English language requirements, you need to provide that you have the necessary knowledge of English. So obviously, if you're coming from Nigeria, you need to show your proof of English language, which we all know that we all use IELTS. We all use IELTS. I call it IELTS. We all use that, and you need to have a certificate that confirms that you've achieved an overall score of at least 7 and at least 6.5 in writing section and at least 7 in reading, listening and speaking sections. This is very important for you to ace. You can also combine your IELTS score, which we know, but if you don't know, you have the opportunity to combine your IELTS certificate. So let's say that you wrote IELTS the first time and you made 7, 6.5, 6.5, right? And 6.5 in writing, which is acceptable, but you made 7 maybe in reading, 7 in listening and 6.5 in speaking, right? And you take it a second time and you get maybe 6.5 in writing. No, you get 6 in writing, 7 in the rest of them. You have the opportunity to combine the first one where you have 6.5 in the writing and the second one where you have 7 across all of the other ones together. So which means they can take your writing in the first one and take all the other ones is scored within the pass mark, and then take the second one where you scored again within the pass mark that you failed in the first one. I hope that makes sense. Point of this entire thing is that you can combine your IELTS results. You can also use OET. That's not very popular in Nigeria, but some people still go for that. So they accept at least a grade C+ in writing section and at least B in reading, listening and speaking section. Okay, and with the same thing you can combine your OET results. So if you make something in the first one and fail some, and then you make the second one, you can combine the 2 results. Again, you need to submit the certificate, upload it on the website so that they know that you've gotten through this, that stage. So I think I've gone through all of the things you need to apply as a nurse associate in England. After all of this have been done, they aim to assess the application in 35 calendar days, maybe like a month and 5 days, and they'll contact you by email to know the outcome and what your next step is. Okay. I hope this video is as as educating and informative as I hoped it would be. I'll put all the information that I think you need to ask questions, websites, emails, whatever inquiries that you might need. I'll put all the information in the description box. Let me know if you decide to follow this route. Let me know if you need any help or if you have any more questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.